Hey, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Kevin here. I okay. Recently, I was assisting this client of mine. They happen to be a long time friend of mine. Husband and wife. They are actually buying a resale HDB, and while planning for it, right, they were asking me about is there any way where they can actually avoid paying ABSD for the next property after their MOP period is over. So I suppose they have the intention to perhaps buy another condo, a one bedroom or two bedder for investment purposes. Right. So there's actually this one way that you can consider arranging the ownership so that you have a bit more leeway with your next purchase 5 years down the road. But at the same time, there are some drawbacks to it as well, which I shall explain to you in this quick video. Alright, so let me just set the context. So again, husband and wife, about 38 years old, right? So they are buying a HDB resale under the public scheme. Husband and wife, they have no kids at the moment, so just the two of them, and they are also thinking of buying another private property for investment. Okay, but chances are they will just still want to keep the HDB because they love the space, and there's already a location that they want to stay in, right? In the estate that's near their parents. So okay, so with decoupling now no longer allowed by HDB, right? So they actually gap up this loophole. Is there any way for them to avoid paying ABSD in the future? That's where planning comes into place, and that is a decision that you have to make before committing to the purchase, because you need to state upfront how you want the ownership to be arranged. Okay, so basically there are two options of ownership arrangement. Okay, number one is joint ownership, which is the most common form that you see. So that means you buy under the public scheme, husband and wife. Both of you will be owners, okay, either as equal owners, or maybe you can actually assign the ownership amount also, joint tenancy versus tenancy in common. Okay, but that's not the whole point here. They are looking at option 2. This is another way that you can consider, where you have one owner and one essential occupier. So it can be the husband is the owner, the wife being the essential owner, or vice versa. Okay, essential occupier will be required because you need to form a family nucleus in order to take up this public scheme. Okay, so alright, so if my client choose to go for this option, right? So still after buying the HDB, the husband and wife must duly complete the 5 years MOP as per HDB regulations. Okay, and the listed essential occupier may then decide to purchase a private property under his or her own name. So that's where planning has to come into place. Who's gonna be the one who will be paying or financing the HDB? I'm assuming that most of us here will have to take a loan to buy the property, right? So that will make a difference, because whoever is the owner will have to be the one using her financial capabilities to process the loan, and also will be the one who use the CPF, okay, which I'll share with you in a short while. Okay, so here there are these drawbacks that you have to consider. Alright, so basically it means the listed owner must have the financial might to service the loan for the HDB. If you use this one owner, one essential occupier, the essential occupier does not have any form of ownership in the HDB. Right, so that means the owner, let's just say in this case for my clients, the husband is the one who wants to be the listed owner. His income must be enough to service the loan after TDSR considerations and whatnot. Okay, and at the same time, the listed occupier also cannot use his or her CPF to contribute towards the financing of the HDB. So basically the listed occupier is literally just using the name for them to be able to purchase the the HDB. But when it comes to obtaining the loan, okay, and also using the CPF towards the monthly contribution of the house, should they want to do so, can only be done by the owner itself. So of course the good thing about this is whatever money that this listed essential occupier save and her CPF, once the 5 years MOP period is up, he or she will be free to purchase another private property. And because they are not deemed to have any prior property ownership, nor did they have any loan, they will be able to buy as a Singaporean without ABSD for their first property. And also in terms of the loan to valuation, they will be able to get up to the maximum of 75% for their first property. Okay, so I guess it all boils down to your financial planning. And also even though husband and wife, that there has to be trust, but I have also seen some cases where both parties feel that it is actually in everybody's interest that everything is just nicely divided half in name. Okay, so those are considerations that you really have to run through before coming to this decision, because after all, buying a property is not always just about dollars and cents. There's a lot of emotions involved also. Okay, so of course then the next thing is whether will you be able to finance the loan, right? So of course there are a lot of financial calculators that you can easily find online. I also have one that I have created for my clients. Alright, so it looks something like this. So I'm sharing on the screen right now. This is one of the tabs is the affordability calculator. I have other tabs to calculate stamp duties, break even, so on and so forth. Or even for people who wants to sell their property, one HDB and upgrade to 2 private property, can they afford to do so? So I have a calculator that allows people to do some form of financial planning first before committing to the purchase or sale. Okay, so you can use this affordability calculator. Okay, so let me just run through very quickly. So of course borrower 2 is in the event if you are buying husband and wife, or there are 2 parties involved. So in this case there's only one person. So you just input your age and your fixed annual income if you are employed. If you are self-employed, then you use the annual variable income. Okay, so in this case for my client, he is a employed person, okay, taking in a regular salary. So you just have to put in the annual figure. So let me just just assume that he's making $5,000 a month gross. So 5 times 12, 60,000. Okay, and he doesn't have any debt obligations, no car loan, no credit cards, no nothing. Okay, if you have, then just input them accordingly, because all these will affect your TDSR, which is capped at 60%. So in this case, right, because he doesn't have any form of obligations at the moment, his TDSR will be able to use up to a maximum of $3,000. And because of his age, 38 years old, his maximum loan tenure will be 27 years. So borrowing up to a maximum of 27 years, he can consider go for less, pay up in 10 years, 15 years, that's fine, but maximum is 27. And based on these figures, right, preliminary, you can see that he is eligible for maximum loan of 628,000, and the HDB property that they're aiming for is going to cost them about 450,000, looking at the past recent valuations and transacted prices. So you can safely say that with his income currently, that will be sufficient, just his income alone to borrow towards the purchase of this HDB. Okay, and then because this is the first property, okay, all these are pre-calculated. You just need to make sure that you input the correct stamp duty amount here. I have the stamp duty calculator here, so just input in the property purchase price, 450,000. So Singapore citizen first property, $8,100. Just put that in. you will realize that he will need a cash minimum of 34,400. Okay, so because out of that 25%, 5% minimum has to be paid in cash. Okay, and then also you have your stamp duties, legal fees, and whatnot. So it works out to be about 35,000. So as a husband and wife family, they have to have a cash budget of at least 35,000 to pay for it, and then the balance 20%, assuming that he gets 75% loan, the CPF required will be 90,000 here. Okay, so he has to have this amount inside his CPF. This amount has to solely come from the husband's CPF account, ordinary account. Alright, so the wife, no matter how much CPF she has, because she is a listed essential occupier only, she cannot use this CPF to pay for the house. Alright, but she can use the CPF to pay for the next condo that they plan to buy 5 years or 10 years down the road. Okay, so I hope I've answered this question, and this sharing is useful to you guys. If you have any questions, just leave it in the comments below, or so that hopefully if we'll try to answer them to the best of our ability. I'll leave our contact details in the description as well. So if you are in the midst of planning to buy or sell your property and you would like to seek some perspective of advice, we hope to be of help to you. So I'll see you in the next video. This is Kevin here. I'll sign off. Thank you and take care. Bye bye.